Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, karibu, karibu. This is Kenya Revolutionary. I hope you're doing good wherever you are. I am doing fine. I'm enjoying my coffee and watching the world unfolds, events unfolds, rather, all over the world. Karibuni, karibuni, karibuni. I'll give you guys a few minutes to get yourself together. Find a seat if you need to find a seat. If you need to, sorry, my microphone is messing up, but I'll fix it in a minute. Again, can you hear me? 1 2 1 2. All right, I think we are working on it. All right, it's good now. Crap. All right. Anyways, as I was saying, karibuni sana, everyone. Karibuni sana. James Wood, I see you in the comment section already. I see you telling me I still believe in Chezo a town. I don't trust Ruto. I don't trust him either. I think this is just a move to show the Gen Zs that I'm doing something. But the positive side of it, on how you can look at it, is the pressure is actually working. He's feeling this. He is feeling the pressure. Karibu sana Saf. Karibu Saf. Ruto cannot be trusted. Gypsy Corner is in too, is telling me, karibu Gypsy. The pressure continues. Karibu. Please, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, and comrades, this is Kenya Revolutionary. Wherever you're joining me from, whether you're from Europe, whether you're in South America, North America, Asia, Middle East, whatever the karibu. Please, the first order of business, if you haven't done it so far, please go ahead and like the video. The first order of business is liking the video. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching me on X, please come to YouTube. You can do so too. My name is Kenya Revolutionary. If you can see the name up there, go to YouTube and like the video. Not only like, but subscribe. You might be wondering who I am, what I do. I talk about Kenyan politics. So get in. I'll open the Ninio. I want to hear your views. Nataka kualeta kwa studio mniambie what's going on. What's up? Rene Black, karibu. Hannington Kuku, karibu. Nuro Madim Adan. Sorry, Adan. Sorry for butchering your name. Karibu sana. Like the video, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and comrades. Ruto was like, you know what? F this. I'm firing the whole freaking cabinet, whatever. Except, of course, he cannot fire Rigathi Gachagua because he's the secretary or whatever, deputy president. Constitutionally, he can't do that. But the rest, and Musalia Mudavadi also survived. And what's this pinhead that used to be the Machakos? What's his name? Whatever, diaspora and something. Just this useless guy. But anyway, karibuni. Please, guy, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment. I want to get your view. Ingieni kwa studio. I'm putting this link in. And if you want me to play the whole speech again, I will play it. But I want to invite you to the studio. Mniambie vile mnafikiria. What do you think about Ruto? Do you trust him? Is he finally giving in to Gen Z's pressure? Because Gen Z wamesema on, next Tuesday, they are going to have a mammoth, huge Mandano. So is that why he's responding? He's saying, hey, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, he needs to follow them. Lydia is saying he needs to follow them out the door. Karibu, guys. We are getting started. Marco, please, Karibu. History making, we don't forget. We need actions, not story. Absolutely, we need action, not stories. Who else? Okay, Gypsy telling me I'm loving the drama. Clever Ruto is giving some of the slow snail Kenyans. Ruto cannot be trusted. Hannington Kuku is telling me this. Okay. Saf, yes, he must go and his cronies. Okay. All right, guys. The link is there. Hit the link. Fungua kamera yako. You can get to the studio and tell me, what do you think about this? Personally, I think he did that. Number one, to get rid of the Ninio, to try to please Gen Z, to show Gen Z, hey, I'm doing something. You guys are complaining that the cabinet secretaries here are corrupt. I have fired them. Number two, the second thing he's trying to also achieve is to implement the deal that he made with Raila and the Azimio. And he will be bringing the Azimio folks to be part of the Ninio, to be part of his next cabinet. Remember, they have that BBI thing, NADCO, that they're trying to implement. They've been I mean, part of it is the Ninio. Yeah. He's called Mudavadi. Like the video, guys. Like the video. Like the video, and do not forget to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Your link here, I've just put in the link there. If you want to come to the studio and tell me how you feel, hey, you are more than welcome. Karibuni, karibuni, karibuni. Nyote and anyone and everyone. Whether you disagree with this or like the decision by Ruto or disagree or whatever the case is, you can get in the studio. Ambia watu how you feel. It's open forum for everybody and everyone. Link ndio hiyo. Put the link there if you want to get in. If you don't want to, if you just want to listen, that's fine. That's the link right there, ladies and gentlemen. If you can just cap fungua yako na uingie. All right, let's get on. Karibu, karibu. I see a lot of people. Oh, Rene Black, karibu. Saf, of course, I saw you. Collins weirdo. Kindiki should now be arrested. Kindiki should be arrested. Absolutely. Rock girl. Rock on, rock on. What is Musalia doing? Mudavadi Tawe. Okay. Iko kitu. This guy does not get the memo. What was he saying? This guy does not get the memo that it's him we want gone. Okay. He doesn't get the memo. He's the one who everybody wants gone. Okay. Hussein Sidibe. Well, that's for Gypsy Corner. Have you listened to what some of these Gen Zs are saying? Snail Kweli. All right. All right, guys. The new is there. The link is in. If you want to get in, get in. Get in. Do not hesitate. Nimeweka link hapo kwa ninio kwa chat. If you want to get in and tell me how you feel, get in. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Please do. Now, John Wachira, karibu. I see you. Let's play the Ninio. Let's listen to what he said. Because I didn't even get to listen to everything he said, but I just know it was a bunch of balderdash. The little portion that I had, he was talking about his accomplishments. I don't know, steel works, new steel factories, and what new economic free zones. I will talk about that one more time. I did that earlier on, and I told you the dangers of economic free zones. Karibuni sana, karibu sana, karibu sana. John Wachira saying, wacha wakachague maharagwe. All right. Renee Black is saying, the old ways of ruling are dead. It's time for changes. Stand tall, peaceful protesters. Absolutely. Next Tuesday, 16th. Hey, itakuwa Mandano, the mammoth one. Ile kubwa kabisa, ile sio mchezo. So they have to get ready. But let me play this. Let me play the whole speech. Let me listen to what he had to say, because I'd never listened to what he said. I don't know what he was talking about. God with us always, back to work. All right, lady, I'm Karibu sana. And don't forget to like the video, ladies and gentlemen, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please do that quickly. Do not forget. Ongera to my generation. Ongera. Okay. All right. Safa is saying, ati kurudishi artifacts Mudavadi era likes of Raila, we still say no. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. I think they've realized that changing the constitution is a tall order. It's something that people will not go for. So I think what they want to do is still fulfill that agreement that they had of NADCO, but instead of changing the constitution, now Ruto will bring in some of the Azimio folks into the fold as a way of fulfilling the Ninio. Yo Ninio yao, yo deal yao alimake. But let me play the Ninio, because I never really had a chance of listening to his speech. Cabinets, I want to figure out who really actually got fired. It's kind of a lengthy speech, but I will try not to play everything. But let's listen. Ndio basi rais mwenyewe. Ruto. Aya.
Dear Kenyans, over the past 2 years, our government has rallied the country behind the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the basis upon which we were elected in the democratic elections of the year 2022. We have achieved significant progress in increasing food production by reducing the cost of farm inputs, thereby lowering the cost of food and lowering the cost of living. We have stabilized the economy by preventing what was an imminent debt default. We have stabilized fuel prices, lowered inflation to an all-record low of 4.6, and we have stabilized the foreign exchange regime. We have implemented radical changes in the education sector, including resolving the CBC question. We have rolled out a new student-focused higher education funding model that has special emphasis on making sure that children from vulnerable families have the requisite support in their education. We have also improved the student-teacher ratio in both our primary and secondary schools by hiring an additional 56,000 teachers and also hiring an additional 2,000 tutors for our TVET institutions. We have equally resolved bottlenecks in cash transfer program to vulnerable Kenyans, including orphans, people living with disability, and the elderly. We have not only brought on board more beneficiaries, but in keeping with the promise that we made, it is now not the case, as it was in the past, that these vulnerable Kenyans have to wait for months. Now their stipends are paid as salaries of public servants are being paid. We did roll out the Hustler Fund that today benefits 2 million Kenyans. And we have 7 million Kenyans who had been denied access to financial services by credit reference bureaus. They are now off the blacklisting roll. Our affordable housing program has now more than 100,000 housing units under construction. The first cohort I will be launching in a couple of months to new homeowners. And we have 160,000 young people across Kenya that are employed under this program. To expand manufacturing, value addition, and agro-processing as a key contributor to job creation, 18 county aggregation and industrial parks and 6 new special economic zones are under construction across Kenya. And at the same time, we have 200 fresh produce markets that are at various stages of construction to support our farmers with access to markets for their produce, in keeping with the commitment we made to our mama mbogas. To accelerate manufacturing, last year, we imposed levies on importation of clinker that can be manufactured in Kenya. We made a saving of Kenya shillings 20 billion in foreign exchange as imports of clinker dropped to almost zero. We also imposed levies on imported steel billets. And today, we have 11 steel factories that 6 years ago were closed. They have started operation, hiring 16,000 Kenyans. And last year alone, we saved 120 billion shillings in foreign exchange as a result of this intervention. Our critical illness fund made.
Check this out.
Sorry,
I'm going to
guys.
show you how I afforded this
I
car.
was about to play the Nino, the best part of it.
Okay, you ready?
Saf,
right,
I see
100
Saf, join me on the Nino.
I am a
Saf, karibu. Hello. Saf, go ahead.
Asante.
Yeah, I was just thinking, if someone has to tell us what he has done and keep telling us what he has done, then clearly nothing has been done, because we should be able to feel these things that he's talking about. All these jobs, all these things he's done. I mean, he didn't have to shout about it all the time. Anytime he's addressing us, he talks about what he has done. No. We should feel what he has done, not hear from him. Yeah.
So do you still support the whole Tuesday? Because Tuesday apparently there's kutakuwa na maandamano on Tuesday kubwa kabisa. Are you still going on with the maandamano, ama you feel like okay, his pressure mnamfinya kutosha?
No, tuendelee kumfinya, aendelee kufinywa, na si streets peke yake. I'm waiting for the other interventions for kumfinya. Tunafinya from everywhere. There's someone who talked about multi-pronged approach, so that everyone is doing everything from different directions. That I don't think just all of us going to the street is going to help. No, we need to do all the other things. And I'm wondering, we had that Nani is missing. Where is he? What's this guy called? Eric Omondi. We need to discuss where Eric
Omondi is missing.
Yeah, we had. I don't know how true it is, but we heard that he's gone missing.
Okay.
Because he was planning to go to State House. I don't know how true. Someone should say how true this is, but apparently he was going to State House and now he's gone missing. I don't know how true that is.
You know what's funny? I want to ask you this. There's something funny that also is happening. After Raila Odinga alienda huko KICC, watu wakampigia simu, and apparently has changed his phone number. Now,
yes.
I see a lot of how watu Azimio wako na ukali. They are saying sijui Alai was writing on his thing, anasema ati kesho mtokeni na muone on Tuesday mkitokea mtaona nyinyi Gen Z. It's like they're threatening Gen Z, kind of, I don't know, sijui wataleta makelele or I don't know, but go ahead.
At the end of the day, these Railas of this world, they are the old school people we don't want. These are the people, I'm not saying him specifically, but him and his let me say his generation. Him and his generation are the people of bringing goods. So I don't put that past them, any of them. Even the ones who have been fired today, if they've actually been fired today, we don't know. But at the end of, maybe that could have been a PR. We have no idea. So at the end of the day, that caliber of people, and I'm hearing you saying that those are the people he wants to bring to a new cabinet. That's far away. No. We should not agree that. That's making, you are taking us backwards.
Yeah, because remember in the Oninio, uliona hiyo barua waliandika jana na ya ODM, and they were saying sijui hiyo part of the IBC commission is part of the NADCO ambayo they want to implement. Now kasema there will be many more.
Vile wanasema from the back door. It's the back door thing. See, that report was issued with them. They were together. And at the end of the day, they faulted that report. They faulted the report. Now, after faulting it, that means there was a problem with it. Now, how do they turn around and endorse what had a fault?
And even the court said it was illegal.
If they were clean about it, they would have said it was clean. Even people like this man, what is it, this man, this lawyer, Musyoka and all those
Kalonzo, he
was the co-chair. Now, they said it was not, some of their interests were not carried, didn't carry the whatever, the vote or whatever. So they were not happy with that NADCO. Now they sit there and actually again tell us that they're endorsing the same bullshit called NADCO.
And they want to bring it back.
And yet they were against it. So for me, it's not they want to bring it back. How do they? Because they have vested interest in that NADCO. That is it.
Yes.
And so that's why we don't want this generation who have this vested interest. We don't want this interest of this old generation. We want them all gone. Myself, I'm not a Gen Z, but I support Gen Z because I'm not that older generation, but I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, those are just jokes and those are just gimmicks. That's PR. Even today, what we are seeing in the TV, I don't know how it's going to happen. Even when he told us CG's finance bill, we are not hearing anything after that. So we don't know if it's, some people are saying it's on the back door. So we don't know what is happening in this country. We're just being given, I have done, I've started, I've done, we've done. That's why the pressure to continue to finye
kabisa. NADCO, I want Gen Z to address this NADCO. Maana hao majamaa, like you said very well, wanaileta kinjaro, they're not bringing it all, but wanaileta mkimoja moja inapitishwa kwa bunge.
Inapitishwa, and now they're telling us that bunge is not there. I don't know, because at the end of the day, now that since we don't have a new finance bill, we've not been told clearly what is happening, and now there's no bunge or I don't know, there's no these people of theirs CSS to do it. That's why to me it is a game. And if it's a game that Ruto is, he's a very clever man. He's a he's a strategy guy. So he could be removing some of the pawns or moving pawns in a chessboard. A chessboard, eh? So he's moving these pawns. He's moving these pawns, and we don't know how he's moving these pawns because he's got his intelligence and all that nonsense that he's got. So at the end of the day, me I see it's PR, it's a game. Unless we be very, very careful. Because Sorora, what he's doing, what is this he's actually doing? We don't know what this man is doing. And that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. We're putting a scenario where now, even, I mean, let's wait and see if we do the Mandano on Tuesday and it's major and there are no cops on the street because there is no CS of, now we don't have a CS of interior, all that nonsense.
Kibiki amefukuzwa.
So Tuesday tutaona kama polisi wataenda huko peke yao ama yeye ndiye ataambia polisi waende.
Yaani paka AGP amefukuzwa kila kitu. Nani ndiye alibaki tu huyu jamaa Alfred Mutua and Mudavadi.
Mutua that's the worst person. See, I thought he only left his deputy and Madividi.
Na sinalisema ati sini Mutua ni huyu usijui wa diaspora and sijui mambo mengine sijui Mutua sijui ndiye.
The most useless people. But I don't know. For me, I'm supporting Tuesday because hiyo itakuwa kutuambia the truth, what is happening. Because something, if it gets violent, if something happens, goons will be. Of course, now they are not there to whatever goons. If we see goons, we wonder again.
Wanaleta watu wa ODM. In fact,
bring people from Kibera, we don't know.
In fact, let me play what they said. I was shocked because Alai said it, then there's another guy who said it, aliweka TikTok, wacha nikuonyeshe. And kwa sababu walikuwa naumwa vile watu walianza kusalimia Raila, walianza kumpigia simu. So wakaanza kukasirika. Then this guy made a ndio maana anasema hii Tuesday wanataka kuleta majambazi. Let me show you this very quickly. It's a short video. And everybody else, guys, you can join the studio and let me play that.
The voices.
Yeah. Okay, ndio hii sasa. Hebu sikia huyu jamaa. I was like, what is
na hii mambo umefanya leo eh?
Oh yeah, I saw this guy from Dala.
Oh, you saw him.
Thank you. You're very much na hii mambo umefanya leo eh? Today there was a meeting at KICC, and that meeting was about the NADCO report. It had nothing with the Gen Z thing. But all of a sudden, we have realized that some children in the name of Gen Zs, ambao sasa jua watoto wako holiday, wanashambulia one Raila Amolo Odinga kwa sababu aliattend your meeting. We want to tell you and ask you, how many leaders were in that meeting? And why did you single out only Raila Amolo Odinga? My friend, we are not leaderless. We are not partyless. Our leader is Raila Amolo Odinga na musikie hivyo. Now, we want a friendly war between watu wa Raila na Wakenya wa Raila na nyinyi Gen Z. Today is Tuesday, you didn't come. We are waiting for you on Thursday. Thursday, tunasema hivi. Gen Z mwanaume ule ako na makende mbili, tupatane town. Gen Z mwanamke ule ako na matiti mbili, tupanane town. Raila sio rika yenyu. We will fight you in equal measures. Hata yo ex tutaingia na nyinyi. You can't afford kutusi Raila kwa mkutano ile amuelewi. Sisi sio wanyonge bana. And we are waiting for you. Tunawangoja nyinyi.
Yeah, so mina shangaa when he says that tutawangoja, what is he up to? Yani wanataka kufanya nini? What's their problem?
Those are sycophants. Are you hearing that he's talking? There's nothing of substance he's saying, but I agree with you. Tutawapata. What does that mean? And he's already talked negative about Gen Z. Oh, you people are abusing our man, blah, blah, blah. So his mindset, him and his people who are going to be there on Thursday or Tuesday, whatever day, you already know what they're thinking, why they are going there. They are not going to make anything better for any Kenyan. They are going there to hammer the Gen Z or to affront them or something like that. You see, so those are the goons. And the reason why Raila's original protests never work, because he has goons. These are the people who work for him. These are the people who go to the street. They don't go to the street with an agenda to change 1, 2, 3. No, they go there to fight.
And blame the police, even
So,
though the
yeah, so
police
these
also are
people-
violent. Yeah.
Yes, so of course they go because they know each other between them and the police. They start the fighting. Then the people who started the revolution or the movement, who are very innocent, they bear the brunt. But ideally, this guy has told you how those goons think, and so these are the people that they pick, or they wherever from that wherever they pick them. They are sycophants, and all the people come to the streets and cause problems.
And that is
That's
my worry on
basically
that is my worry on Tuesday when this happens. I don't know who to blame. Let me bring in Bernard nisikia anasema nini. Bernard, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Yes.
Yeah,
go.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
catching up. I'm just catching up on the news and trying to absorb what's going on. Yeah, with the firing of the cabinet. So
Do you see it as a positive thing, or do you see it, because to me personally, I think maybe it is a way of giving space to the Azimio folks to get into the cabinet as part of the NADCO deal, because Baba alijaribu kutuambia ati NADCO ndio itafanya Gen Z watoke kwa ninio streets na akasalimiwa.
So that is true, but then also there's a tremendous pressure on William Ruto, and everyone who has common sense in Kenya was telling him that the current situation was untenable. He has to change course. There's so many things on the table. Firing the entire cabinet was one of them, but unfortunately, like I keep saying, the revolution is cooking, and a revolution happens rarely in any country, in any part of the world. They do have French Revolution, the American Revolution, the sexual revolution. There's so many kinds of revolutions, but we're in the middle of one, and no one person can control the outcome, what's going to happen next. Ruto is doing his best to try and change course and try and Ruto's main thing is to preserve himself. I don't think he cares about Kenyans. He is trying to survive. That's why he brought Raila in. It backfired. Now he has fired the cabinet in an attempt to buy time, and it's not going to work because he is trying to preserve his own future. So, and I think I read somewhere that someone was making demands of the entire cabinet and the entire permanent secretaries have to go. So he has appointed PSs who are extremely incompetent, like the cabinet secretaries. So to me, this is nothing. I don't think this is the right move for Ruto, and I think much worse is coming to his side.
So hii tu ni gimmicks ya kujaribu kuonyesha watu ati he's doing some change, nothing more.
True, correct. He's trying to manage the situation, but unfortunately, it's going to backfire badly because he is not addressing the core problem.
Okay. Now on the Azimio side, these guys, unajua jana vile after Baba got the backlash from the callers, Sifuna alitokeza akasema, you know what, we were not going there as for Gen Z. Baba has his own followers. You know, he kind of twisted it. Now it was about Azimio. And I was asking myself, see now what are my followers of Azimio, since they're part of Kenyans? Ama Azimio is another country. Why? Who was presenting there? Why you?
You see, the thing is, we have a political class in Kenya. And unfortunately, someone said somewhere that everything Raila has fought for as a person might get wiped out in a series of bad moves. His attempt to try and save Ruto could wipe out everything he has ever tried to do for Kenya. And it's a revolution coming in. Kenyans are suffering. The country is suffering. We need change. We need to improve the lives of Kenyans. And a lot of atrocities have been committed, including the brutal murder of young people who are justifying protesting for their own rights and for their own country. They should not have been killed. These are serious issues. And Raila attempted to cover that stuff up. to come up with some stupid dialogue of some sort. So the Azimio guys are caught up in this nonsense, and they are also going to get wiped out by the revolution. There are some people I see in Azimio side who are extremely smart, who can see what's happening, what's coming, and they've been playing their cards right. One such person is Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta can see what's going on, and he can see that the country is angry, and he knows why the country is angry. And I believe Uhuru actually refused to agree with Raila when Raila was agreed to form a coalition government with Ruto. Uhuru was against it. So the Azimio guys are gonna get swept away in the current.
Okay, Saf.
So what I think, okay, one Ruto is grasping at straws. What you call grasping at straws. So he's actually he has we've been told by his former AG that he does not listen to him. So he doesn't listen to anyone. So he's doing things his own way. He's trying his own way. Now Raila was my hero. He was my hero for a long time. But I think his problem is he's too good, if I may say so. All these handshakes since Kibaki's time, what happened? He did a handshake there. What happened? The next person handshake. This now he's saving, as Bernard is saying, he's saving this Ruto man instead of saving the people or going towards the people rather than. As I was talking about the NADCO thing, he should have refused that thing. Why does he go agree? Why does he agree to stand there with these people and sign something which they were against, or rather they did not participate fully? That's a big question. So it could be Bernard, as I say, it could be also Raila may also be doing self-preservation, or his people around him. They could also be doing the same thing. And that is not the spirit of the revolution. And that is why for me at this point, I was for Raila, but at this point, I say Tawe, I say no. Because he's not reading the mood, if I may say. He's not reading the mood of the people who are the Gen Zs, or the people who are leading this movement. Instead of preserving those people, he's going to preserve Ruto. For what reason?
Well, I have an answer for you. I have an answer for you. He took money. He took money. So
definitely.
right now, what Ruto is doing, when he gives you a call, say, I need some help here. And as I keep saying, Raila took a minimum of 5 billion shillings to show up for that follow-up.
Wow. And that is why we are saying no to him also. We are saying no to him.
And you can see the way he's acting, the way he's talking. This is a man who has been paid.
Yeah, he's been compromised, and his cronies, all these Edwins, and I really loved Edwin Sifuna, and they used, but now I'm just getting disappointed with them because they're the ones who would have led their front against the Ruto government. Because every time you've been watching those cities and things, then when it's Sifuna and someone from the other side, he always thrashes them, and it's very nice. But all of a sudden to come back now and wants to work with the same group of people, I don't understand that mindset. Hata kama ni pesa, Ben, I don't know. But for me also now, I don't.
Sifuna has an additional problem. He was pushing another bill about allowing relatives to do business with the government, something of that sort. So these guys are corrupted. They are corrupted to the core. And at this point in the revolution, it's just we should speak the truth. Raila has been corrupted. Raila is corrupt. Sifuna is corrupt. Ruto is corrupt. That's the truth.
And
that's
that
the
is
truth.
That's why I agree with Z. No leader, no nothing, no nonsense called a leader, because that it's just a movement which you don't know where it's coming from. That's what I love about it. You don't know when it's coming, where it's coming from, where it's going to hit, and that's why I was agreeing with that issue of multi-pronged from different directions. The ones who are going to state house can go to state house, the ones who are going to parliament can go there, the ones who are going to Sujui, which state house in Naivasha can do that. From every direction. It's true, Ben, you can see the pressure getting on this man called Ruto. And he's trying to look for people and get him out, trying to look for people now, including these old people. They won't help him because the pressure is not from those people. The pressure is from
true. And you can see there are so many groupings of people all over the place. There are so many groups on the internet meeting every day. Yesterday,
Yes.
I tuned into one group, and I was really shocked to find Miguna was there. There was
Oh, yes.
Dr. William Mutunga was there. Then there was Tony Gashoka. And Tony
Uh-huh.
Gashoka was super angry with Raila. And he was narrating how he flew from Diani to meet Raila in Nairobi and was starting Mandamano. And Raila told him that he was ready to die. And at that point, you agree with Tony Gashoka that Raila meant it. Because at one point in the Mandamano about the elections, I thought Raila was going to die myself. When his car, what they didn't know, his car was bulletproof. When they fired, I think something like 7 shots at him. But then the same Raila,
He's now
after going to Nairobi, after being shot at, somehow changes the whole thing and decides to have a handshake with Ruto.
Okay, I'm sorry to say this. I don't know, because there are many people listening, but this could be the problem. Now, I don't know how to put it in a good way, but ideally, Raila is old. So at the end of the day, he's being pushed from different directions. Yes, he was shot at, but now maybe his cronies are now pushing him to this other direction because they are seeing those billions are being given or whatever, they are seeing those things. So as you said, Bernard, it's that self-preservation thing. And it seems Raila is not thinking for himself.
No.
He's not thinking for himself. And that is why for me, this equation of trying to look for Raila and see what will not work, and we should just forget about it. Let them do whatever they're doing, but we continue our own movement, because this actually heightens the revolution. Not even at he's slowing it because he's thinking he's slowing people like that. No, it's heightening things. If these people like Miguna and all these people who are now joining in, they should give the words of wisdom to the younger people how to maneuver. But the more we continue talking and we're not doing any strategy, where nothing is happening, it's going to fizzle out. And it's already said fizzling out, because now we're like, so what is happening next? Ruto is making his moves, which are confusing some people, but can we also make ours and confuse also?
That's why I keep saying in a revolution, it's very good to have the end picture of what we want. And to me, the end picture is Kenya as a country that is successful economically and takes care of all its people, because we have the resources, both natural and human resources, intelligent people who can do so well for our country. A country that functions for everyone. For us to get there, a few things have to happen. Number one, we had a very serious problem, a finance bill. Knock it down. So we have won. Finance bill was knocked down. Number two is to get Ruto out of office. And number three is to get responsible people and trustworthy people in power. Three simple goals. Now we are at goal number two, where Ruto has been weakened, but he's still very much in place. So, and keep in mind, Kenya, we're not a country of angels. We're a country of human beings. So for me, I like saying, if our interests converge with someone, then we should work with them. I never liked Miguna. I never liked the things he was doing before. But right now, his interest and my interest converge in getting Ruto out. That's why I'm willing to listen to him. Now, there's someone else who is fighting with Ruto, Gachagua. I don't like what the things Gachagua did. I don't like the things Gachagua has done. I don't like his past. I don't like his history. But right now, he's an asset to the movement.
By the way, Bernard, very quickly, is it true that they want to impeach him?
Yes.
But
so
they also impeach the president. They're a pair. They come together.
But to me, I'm so happy. What happened is that Gashagua's own member, Gachagua is from Mathira. So the Mathira member of parliament has actually tabled a motion in parliament to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. To me, that is God sent for the revolution, because what you want is complete chaos and complete implosion inside UDA. that works very, very well for the revolution. It weakens
Not
Ruto.
yes.
It divides UDA. It makes them the energy is reduced because now they're infighting, throwing chairs at each other. That's exact. Now it gives us breathing room on the outside to attack from the outside.
Yes.
So
Remember, we talk about finya from everywhere, finya from
yes,
all directions.
wacha
You turn
walimane huko ndani kabisa. Wacha walimane huko
you
ndani
turn to
kabisa.
the left, you see them. You turn to the right, you see them. He looks in front, he looks behind, up, down. There is nowhere to go. That is what
Yes,
we want. That is
yes.
what we want.
Don't you think? Don't you think Ruto amesha he's kind of ameona central Mount Kenya imeenda. That's why he's turning to Raila and is looking at Nyanza.
Mount Kenya imeenda kitambo sana. And let me tell you, Ruto's strategy for Mount Kenya was simple. He counter-checked Rigathi by appointing Moses Kuria, who is from Kiambu, as a counterweight to Rigathi, who's from Nyeri. And then in between Kiambu and Nyeri, you have Muranga, where he appointed Dindi Nyoro as head of the budget committee. So you had those three forces in Kikuyu Mount Kenya. Then outside the Kikuyu Mount Kenya, on the far side, on the east side, you had the cabinet secretary for defense, the guy from Meru. And then from Laikipia, you had the former minister who was fired by Uhuru. So he had all these games he was playing to counter the balance. But now, thanks to Gen Zs, he has been forced to fire the cabinet. So, which means Moses Kuria, who was being viewed as, sorry to say this, Kikuyus, our Monday is eating for us. Kuria was eating on behalf of Kikuyus in the cabinet. Now he's been fired. Now that leaves Rigathi in a dominant position in Central, whom he's trying to impeach. Now that leaves. Now that sends Central Kenya entirely to Limuru 3 and into the hands of Uhuru Kenyatta.
Now,
so
you just said something, Ben, before you go on. And someone has written it on the chat here. These are gimmicks. If you ask me, I'm seeing gimmicks. And when we play into that game of gimmicks and say, okay, now is on our side, so maybe the Kikuyu votes will not go. Let's forget about you talked about the three agendas. Let's just focus on our agendas. Someone has talked about Omtata here. Omtata should be on the front of the legal, plus Faith and all those people. That's the area. They should be focusing on that side. Then the people who can run on the streets and have the energy can be on the streets and focus there. The ones who can be on social media and talking for hours and let them be on that side. Can we have something that's and forget about the politics that they are doing? Because for most of them are distractions. And we should not play into this distraction. Let our fathers and mothers and uncles play into those distractions. But for ourselves, Amtata said Kenya is in a prison. Okay, yeah. But yeah, at the end of the day, let us focus on now and let them focus on their politics. Let now Raila focus on that politics if he wants to. But for us, we are not in that space. They can fight, they can talk, they can fire each other, they can do whatever they want. For me, Uhuru is not a good person, so I also would not want Uhuru anywhere in the equation because he started some of these problems and then left them for Ruto to continue with. So for me, he's also not a positive. All these people in that arena who have been there since Moi's era, none of them are going to be positive. If you're throwing them out, let all of them go, including Rigathi and whoever, no matter what votes they are bringing from where. That is my take. And we start afresh.
What's the goal? Is it to remove Ruto or to revolutionize Ruto's cabinet and MPs? Is it to remove Ruto or
to remove the root? Who's Ruto? Ruto is the root. Because once Ruto goes, they all fizzle out. If you leave Ruto there, they'll always find each other. But once you remove the root, they'll all fizzle out. If you put a new root, we plant a new foundation.
Just a question for you. Okay, suppose, theoretically speaking, a bunch of Kenyans march into State House tomorrow. And Ruto flees the country. So what next?
He stays out of the country. Now the nuances now. Remember, he has fired some people right now. So what the little I know is that if he leaves, his deputy is supposed to take over.
His deputy
Ideally,
takes
there's
over,
no
okay?
vacuum. There's not supposed to be
Okay.
any vacuum. So
Okay.
so he's saying, okay, if Rigathi also goes now, this senator guy also takes over. There's supposed to be no vacuum. Now, my problem is these people who are supposed to plug in the vacuum are also tainted. So you want none of them. So at the end of the day, what I
So
would like
what
to
do you
see
do?
if people match to status, as you're saying, he
Omar,
still
your
has.
device is not connected. Omar, I know you're trying to get in, but your device is not connected. Try again. Log out and come in. Sorry, Saf. Go ahead.
Hakuna shida. So Bernard, you said if people, a bunch of people walk in, what I want this bunch of people to go do is to go sit. What they did to another African president, I don't just let him talk on camera and give instructions on camera, positive instructions, which he can, because you've not been removed as a president. Don't remove him yet. You let him use those power as he has as a president to give some directions or to give some key statements or key directions. Yeah, for this to done this to change things. And in this, that is what I'm talking about, the leadership of some of this older generation who are for us. They can tell us some of the things that need to be done or changed without really there that we don't know. I was hearing something that as much as we did away with the finance bill, we did away with the financing of expenditure. But they also already had an expenditure. They already passed the appropriation bill, which is how they're going to spend. So we touch that one of spending, but we touch the money that we're going to get. So what he's going to do within the money that we've reduced, he's going to still spend because he has the power to spend. He has been given the power already to spend. So as much as we limited his amount, now we are the ones who are going to suffer because now he's going to work against us to still do the things he wanted to do with less money. So you see, people in the parliament or people who have been around that ring and now are against him, the people who are with us, the Migunas, we don't like, the CG Tonys and whoever, they're the ones who can tell us some of these detailed things. So these are things that someone sits with, they capture State House basically and capture him with his family and let him give directions towards some of these things, because if he signs something into law, he can sign it out of law. If it's been gazetted, it can be gazetted. Those are the things we need. Because right now, we don't have a bill, yes. We don't have how they're going to get the money from us, but he can spend. Within the 2023 allocation, he can spend the way he wants. We didn't stop that. So we're in that problem. So there are those things inside, nuances of the running the government and all those things that we don't know, the Gen Z don't know. But there are people like Tony, there are people like the former AG, there are people who like Miguna who know these things. So kufinya ni hivyo.
So I think what Bernard was going at, if I'm wrong, and Bernard, you can correct me. I think Bernard was making a point that if they get rid of Gachagua, it still plays into the whole huge anti-Ruto atoke, because now it will alienate Gachagua and probably the Mount Kenya people, and they'll also, be very watajoin Gen Z wakisema, okay, huyu jamaa amenifukuza kazi. So it will play into the whole idea of removing Ruto, because now Ruto will be left with probably Raila. And Raila, I don't think the whole of Nyanza province is behind him, because even his strongest wakina Nani, Jakababa, whatever, or Mosh 1 hour, they were even mad at him. They were like, umetuacha baba. The Nuru Okangas were not happy about it. So you can see even in Nyanza province, they're probably not going this Raila with the Ruto thing. So I think maybe Bernard, you can correct me if that's where you're going with it when you are mentioning the whole Gachagua being
yes. Yes, that's that's where I was going with it. You got it correctly. Even Nyanza, for example, also encompasses Kisii. And in Kisii, there's a governor that Ruto has really harassed, Simba Arati. And don't forget when Mandamanos, the fiercest Mandamano came from Kisii during the elections. And that's because of what Ruto has done to them, including harassing Mr. Matiang'i. And the reason why I was saying at the beginning that Kenya is not a nation of angels is because as we fight Ruto, we have this picture in our minds finance bill gone, Ruto gone, and Kenya becomes a much better society for everyone. To get there, it's going to be a little bit messy, and we might have to work with characters that none of us are proud of, none of us like. But those characters will help us get where we need to be. You know, some of us have been playing politics for a long time. I have voted in all elections. I have always wanted Kenya to improve. I come from Kenya. I come from Kiambu. I'm a Kikuyu. I don't like what Uhuru Kenyatta was doing. I don't like what some of the things Kibaki was doing. I feel frustrated as a Kikuyu from Kiambu, like many other Kenyans in Mombasa and Turkana. All this corruption. So we have to work with the existing framework, with the existing, like a fight between Gachagua and Ruto. Gachagua comes to our side, help us kick Ruto out. Ruto goes out, Gachagua comes in, or whoever comes in. These are the systems that we want. This is how we're going to fix it. And I'll give you an example. I worked so hard to ensure that that Kenya got this flight from Nairobi to New York. And I remember in the Kibaki administration, when Kibaki came for a state visit to the United States, I believe George Bush allowed that flight to take place. Obama blocked it for 8 years. When Trump came in, Trump allowed KQ to come to New York nonstop. I then tried so hard to push the Uhuru administration for us to make aviation a major employer and a major part of our services industry. And I was facing a lot of headwinds because nobody could understand what the hell I was talking about. You know, there's so many ideas out there for us to fix Kenya. And as we try and get these guys out, this government out of place, and put people who are competent, let's see how we can implement those things. And for me, I was in a forum yesterday telling people the person who should become cabinet secretary of treasury is Patrick Njoroge, former central bank governor. Clean, squeaky clean. Never touched a dollar.
Was it him or somebody that I saw with this whole brouhaha that's happening with Wamatangi? I don't know if you guys saw that. Wamatangi is in hot soup. He's been named in some
scandal.
Yes, and I thought
that's pity.
Yeah, I saw something about the name you just said. Is it Patrick Njoroge? That he was also involved in some stuff in Kiambu. I might recheck that. I don't know if it was him, but
I can tell you Patrick. I can tell you Patrick Njoroge is.
Okay.
Patrick Njoroge lives in a dome in Nairobi. He has no property. He doesn't own anything.
Okay, so it wasn't him.
He's a what do you call? He's almost like a Catholic monk.
Catholic. Has he been the central bank before? Because that name also sounds familiar.
Yes, he ran central bank for 2 terms.
Okay, so let me stop you there. And someone on the chat has mentioned something also. People
we need those kind of people, squeaky clean.
But now he's been tainted. See, the revolution is talking about something about some. It may be true, yes. It may be not. It may be a lie. Yeah, we agree. But at the end of the day, for starting afresh, you don't start with people who are tainted. We have people who are not tainted. So let's not look for people who are tainted in whatever way, whether it's central bank, whether it is government, whether
true.
It's president.
I agree.
So we start on a clean slate. Then the other people can prove themselves from coming from the former, whatever. They can come in and prove themselves, but they find a clean slate, clean people who have not been in this system, or rather who have not. There's nothing talked about them or nothing proved about them. But someone who has, for me, what I say, where there's smoke, there's fire. So if there's some kind of painting on anyone, that's person I will not go anywhere.
All right.
Here.
Let me bring in Jay. Then MK is also waiting there. I want to hear the new Jay. Karibu.
Karibu sana. I haven't been following the whole thing, but one thing I need to add is Patrick Njoroge worked for the IMF for 10 years. So it's one other thing to consider.
As long as you're in IMF. Bernard, IMF. Bernard.
No.
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
have the same ideology and views on the economy as the people in the IMF. So just one thing to consider.
Okay. MK, karibu sana. Your president is saying he has fired everyone except Mudavadi. Of course, he can't fire Rigathi because constitutionally he can't. And he has also retained this diaspora guy. What's his name? Forgot his name. Whatever the name is. But anyway, what do you think? Is it a good move, or is he impressing you, or are you still Ruto out, or are you impressed? Are you for him? Go ahead. Unmute. MK, unmute. Okay, go ahead.
Even more. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm actually even more worried than I was before, because this guy is a snake, and you know what snakes do? They shed the skin and then they come out anew. We know his deceptive skills, because that is what he always does. And right now, I'm afraid, because maybe this is one of his cards that he's trying to play against us. And now this explains why he reached out to Raila Odinga the other day, because he knew now he was going to create perhaps enemies by dissolving the cabinet. So he wanted someone that would sanitize him, and he wanted someone that would be on his side. And now, according to him, his strategy was that now if I can get Raila on my side, now perhaps there will be no strong opposition against me, and perhaps I will get the support. And maybe they are planning now to form what do they call it? A government of national unit. I don't know what they want to call it, but whatever cabinet now that they want to come up with, I am almost certain that Raila Odinga will also have a hand in it. And that is what, I have been a supporter of Baba for the last, I don't know, 4 times that he has vied for this seat. But much to my surprise, I am learning now that he's becoming more of a traitor. And I don't know why. I don't know whether maybe he's going senile like Biden, Perhaps that's what is happening to him. I think that's what is happening to Baba, because he's so insensitive. Baba fails to realize that even before the Gen Zs were shot dead by the policemen, he fails to realize that people were rioting the other day because of stolen elections, and they got killed, and those were people that were supporting him. And then he was so insensitive to go shake hands with Ruto. They come up with these shenanigans of, what is these talks? They had NADCO reports and stuff like that. Now he wants support from Ruto to go to AU. I mean, I don't know what is happening with him. The other day he says, oh, okay, now I realize that I did a mistake. I shouldn't have done, I don't know whether it's his advisors or he's thinking on his own. I am really frustrated, and I don't know the way forward, but I think we as the citizens should not be fooled by this, and this guy ought to be ousted, because there is nothing that he can do to regain our trust. That's all I can say for now.
Thank you.
Yes, senile. That is the word I was looking for. Senile.
Question for you. Question.
Yeah.
Were you aware that Raila shook hands with Ruto in Mombasa at Ali Joho's house?
Yes, I know that. Hapo nilianza kumwangalia na.
But that's where the plan was hatched for AU and government of national unity. So that's nothing new.
I agree.
Right. And that's where, and also remember, before Ruto flew to the United States, Meg Whitman made a surprise visit to Raila Odinga's house in Karen.
By the way, that's true.
And do you know why that happened?
Yeah, I know.
It is because the meeting in Ali Hassan Joho's house in Mombasa between Ruto and Raila, in the presence of Olusegun Obasanjo, was actually formulated. The idea was formulated in Washington, D.C. by because Joe Biden is quote end of quote senile, it is his wife Jill Biden and some other handlers like far leftists like Bill Gates who hatched this plan. And
yes. Now I see.
and you know, an X amount of money was provided to Raila to calm him down, and he indeed calms down. And
Wow.
when this issue of Gen Zs came up, you know, unfortunately, the man has a price on his head. They know how much he needs, so they call him. They call him, and again another check was dispatched. And let me tell you right now, in Washington D.C., Jill Biden is facing a lot of backlash, not even from Republicans, from Democrats, because of all the shenanigans they're doing around the world. And they're forcing this guy. Yesterday, the meeting here in DC for NATO, the guy couldn't even speak, Joe Biden, and he couldn't even go for the meeting at night because I guess he was tired. So this is the same woman who flew to Nairobi, met Ruto, gave him $150 million, and four days later, the Ushoga staff was passed the Supreme Court to Nairobi.
Wow, yeah, by the way, that's
so please don't be frustrated by Raila. He is catering for himself. Raila is fighting for himself.
Thank you for the insight. Thank you for the insight.
And he's fine right now. His bank accounts are swollen, and he's okay. So right now we're on our own. So we have to think on our own. Yeah.
For me, I look at it as colony mambo leo. Basically, people like Ruto who are for these colonialists to come back, they're coming back in a different way. I wish we had a president like someone like Traore and all those other people. I mean, really, this is just serving those, because a person, a human being, a whole man of whatever age they are, in his own right mind, you have your own mind to think about things. Me, I really wonder why some people just don't use their brains that they were given. This is someone who told us he went for a PhD, and PhD is not something to get yesterday. So at the end of the day, this is a person who can make up his own mind if he wished so. But as you talk about Bernard, the thing about being given all those millions of dollars, I think he's a greedy person. That one we know, he's greedy. Ataka to pesa, he wants that. I
agree.
Power. Why is listening to these other people, this colonialists? That's what they are basically. They want our minerals, they want our whatever. They're just coming back in a different way.
True.
When they came to our forefathers, it was that generation that they came, that they're coming with the church and prayer, and that's what they came with. Now they're coming with money. So at the end of the day, we need people who can think for themselves, not think about the, because we have some examples. Traore in this Africa, we have them. Not that we don't have them. There are pockets, but we have them. But majority of them are for these colonialists to come back, and they're giving our country and our minerals, our things to them for free. They've been given. Even after the Americans said they did not fund this man of ours to go there, what did we do? It was our money that we used, but we sat back and, Kenyans, we have a way of, okay, tunaambiwa mtadu, and we don't do. That is our problem as Kenyans. And that is why I was talking about tuendele kufinya from all directions. Let's do. Let's now do. Tunaambiwa mtadu. Let's now do.
Anyway, so I can tell you, what I'm doing on my part. Personally, I am voting for Donald Trump because of what Biden has done. And from all appearances, Biden is out in November. And hopefully, and I can tell you for a fact, Trump is not going to play that game. And if Kenyans don't get Ruto out, Trump will do it for them.
Ya Trump unajua kuna kifua.
Na wazimu.
Some men of women. Trump akona kifua. But my worry is, we also, at the end of the day, Trump is also a foreigner. He will also come, he may also want to come with his own things to, he may also want to come from us. So at the end of the day,
well, I can tell you what Trump wants from Kenya. I can tell you what Trump wants from Kenya, and it's not nothing bad. I can tell you what Trump wants from Kenya.
Yes, true. But what I'm saying, let's not rely too much on the.
Trump wants free trade with Kenya, and that's fine with me.
The problem is
okay,
that
but
the problem is
that's okay then.
no. I was saying the problem that is that sorry, go ahead, Saf.
I'm saying, can we have our own homegrown solutions, and then let people like Trump or other people from other countries who are friendly to us to add on, but let the ideas come from us. Let the revolution starts from us. Then those guys come in to help or to supplement or to, if like now, because they have the money, maybe it will come. There'll be a point. There'll be finances readed. That's where they can come in. But let it not come from them, though it is coming from the Bidens and these other people. You see, the way these people now, people are holding hands. A whole grown man of 50 plus years is being held his hand like I don't know what. Then he's to take a picture with the giant, and that's our man.
I think
he doesn't bring basketball back. My son is a basketball player. He doesn't bring money for basketball to this country. What nonsense is that?
I think the point is,
and he takes three of his children there. What have they got to do to?
Saf amekasirika kweli kweli, eh? Tuangalie temperature yake. Omunyekera is in.
Very, very high. You know what I say? Sometimes now this thing has gone to the national arena. But personally, I work for whatever. Even in our small bit. So for we need also another revolution for people who are working in specific places. How we can protest these things where we work, because now there's that issue of victimization. It's real, but it is very, very real. It's very, very real. Victimization is very real, and we feel it where we are. So that's what I talk about. If we can have a way of maybe someone from Gen Z can come and help us think of how we can also protest in the office space for parastatals and all these ministries. People are not happy there.
Yeah, true.
So as much as you're pushing Ruto huko, then other people who are sleeping in Afia House, pushing this other lady and others, these other people, even people in their offices, in the parastatals, in the ministries, we should also know how to push from there, so that we have this kufinya from everywhere. Things are not working everywhere. But if our office tunafinyiwa because we are against some people, you see, at the end of the day, and that is our space where we can occupy, we need to also know how we can occupy there. Right. We need ideas of that kind of things.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our last Nino. I just wanted to have a quick one. I'll be coming in later. Nico, now daddy duties, so I have to end this. I'm sorry. But I just wanted to get everyone's take. Let's start with Jay, then we'll go MK, then Bernard, then Saf. You can wrap it up. Just give us your overall last Nino for the day, for the hour. What do you think, and what do you see happening going forward with this whole appointments and Raila's newfound bromance with his brother, who he calls brother, President Ruto?
I think Raila returning to Ruto like the prodigal son was good because it united everyone again. Because before that, it was all division, who's paid, who's what. Now it's all divided, but we should be worried of all the vacancies that need to be filled with the cabinet. So in case Ruto brings in the same old people, who've been quiet or not really quiet, but then they've been chini ya maji for the last 5 years, guys like Ferdinand Waititu or something. So just
if he brings Ferdinand Waititu, I'm moving to Sudan.
Exactly.
All right, MK.
Yeah, for me, I don't think nothing can be enough for me right now. I just somehow, I don't know how we can do it, but I just want that man out of office. I just want Ruto and the entire guys that the political class that is in right now. I just want all of it go out. I don't know how.
Okay, Bernard. Bernard, are you there? Okay, maybe he has technical difficulties. Saf, you want to go next?
Daddy responsibilities.
Yes, I know.
Daddy responsibilities. So anyway, for me, I echo what MK has said. I want that man and all his people out, including the ones in our offices. All of them should go at the end of the day. But what I said is echoing with MK. Once you get the root out, then you know the tree you can deal with it. At that point, you know that tree is going to be very hard to come back. So Ruto has now removed the leaves, he's removed some branches, maybe the fruits are fallen off, but the root is still there. And as MK is saying, he could bring other, I mean, someone can then come and what do you call grafting? These are agriculture. Someone can come and graft Raila inside there, and then it sprouts something totally different because the root is still in. So my thing is to finya to pay root. To finya to pay your root, and that is Ruto. And once the root is out, it goes with all his people. Then let's plant a new seed. Let's plant a new plant and nurture that plant from that level. Get the right people to nurture that part. Because if we get someone new, maybe there'll be a walk to listening to other people and thinking in a different way because they don't want to go the same way that Ruto went. Iliwe funzo kwa. That is
because unajua hata vile amewafuta kazi, najua hapo kwa sides amewaambia endeni matenda nitawapatia tu, mambo itakuwa tu sawa. So you see this thing is just going to continue.
Kukuta is just kupaka, ile ni kupaka rangi. Those people have been talking by the time they were sitting there. By the time they were sitting there, see they knew what was happening. So alipaka rangi anawaambia just let this cool down. Just let this time cool down. Mtarudi in another way.
In another way, true.
It's simple. And we can have more forums like this to get him out. Well,
I'm back.
Yeah, we are going to have another forum in the evening, midnight 5:30 Eastern time if you're in the US, or midnight 12:30 midnight in Kenya. So we are going to continue the discussion later on. But Bernard,
sorry. I also have daddy duties. That's why I had to.
I understand. I feel your pain.
Yeah. So Kenya Revolutionary.
Yes.
So here's the deal. You know, I've been pushing for the last 2 months for us to have a shadow cabinet, people to give direction, and I have the names already in my head, my own version of people: Akina Okia Omtata, Gabani Omoshomba, people like that, people who are very well respected, who've been fighting in the fight. So we can go to the next step, you know, because the ideas are there. Is implementing them. So if you, and I know you told me you're in Atlanta. If you can start a Telegram group, we exchange numbers and we go. Telegrams can go 24/7. Doesn't have, you don't have to log in and log out. And we post ideas. You know, I know this guy in Nairobi. He would be he would make a very good like transitional leader type guy. His name is Kipruto Arab Kirwa. He was Kibaki's agriculture secretary. You know, people like that, they're there. And I we tell them, look, dude, you did so much for this country. Right now, you have your responsibilities. Right now, you're in charge of agriculture policy. What should be done? Because they know, right? Under agriculture, you have the National Cereals and Produce Board. They know what needs to be done, who needs to be fired, what loopholes are being used to bring in fake fertilizer. They know all those things. We don't. Those guys have been in government. We can form a Telegram group, approach them, nominate them. We start running a shadow government, and that's how revolutions take root, and permanent change comes. You know, I can tell you, one time I was in so much pain when someone in Nairobi sold the Kenya Airways slot at Heathrow to Oman Air for $100 million. So in 1952 or something like that, the Queen of England gave Kenya a slot to land at Heathrow. And some dude in Nairobi just got appointed as CEO of Kenya Airways and sold it to somebody for $100 million. That money vanished. You know, so we're being looted for just about every direction. And if we can have this shadow government, people who are in Nairobi who know how things should work running, that would be a good place for us to start. It's going to require a lot of work for many of us. Many of us are parents. Many of us have jobs, but we have to keep logging in, making calls to try and help and save our country. That's it from me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Meet me again 5:30 Eastern time if you live in the US, 12:30 midnight usiku saa Kenya. If you're in England, I don't know, you're maybe 5 hours ahead of me, so that will be what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10:30 England, London time, whatever the case is. And I don't know where everywhere else. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in 5:30 Eastern time for those of you who can figure that out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. Subscribe, share, comment, and like the video. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.